Hi, I'm Carla Avila.
And I'm Kopi Harris.
And this Magicticity series is designed to help you and share with you our ideas and experience on how to become better presenters. And today we are focusing on posture.
Yes. And we're going to spend at most 5 minutes talking about posture because it is really one of the most important things that you can do for yourself, both in terms of how you feel when you talk to an audience or you listen, but also in terms of how you come across.
Yes, and it helps you really think through how you're going to present yourself to an audience. So one of the key things for posture is really sitting straight and sitting forward. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, Coach?
Yeah, well, we are both in the ideal seated position. We are both sitting on the edges of our seat. We have both of our feet firmly on the ground, on the floor. Our ankles are not crossed, our legs are not crossed, our arms are not crossed, our hands are not clasped. In fact, let's demonstrate what that looks like when we do the opposite.
Right.
When we sit the way so many of us like to sit when we're presenting. A lot of people sit like this, and I was joking to Carla. I literally had a client who came into me and he said, Kopi, people tell me I look arrogant when I present. I don't know why. You can see why immediately, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't until I videoed this person that he saw why people had thought that he was arrogant. A lot of times we as presenters want to come across as being quote unquote laid back and relaxed. And what we don't realize when we literally lie back is that we're coming across as being disengaged and disinterested in what the other person is saying.
And to the contrary, when you are sitting towards the front and you're really paying attention, you have the ability to showcase that, in fact, you are interested and you're engaged and you want to connect with people. And this is so important, not only when you are presenting in an audience, when you're talking to people during a meeting, also even if you're on the phone and you're talking to someone, it also will give you the ability to stay in the conversation, not lose track of what's happening, and you will sound more engaged even though they can't see you.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. It shows up in your voice. And some of you may have watched Cuddy's TED Talks or read some of her research. What she found is that when you get in some of the kind of inward turning poses, you actually release the stress hormone cortisol. And I've worked with a lot of women who say to me that they don't feel that they have a presence in meetings. And what I'll often find when I video them is that they're sitting like this a lot of the time, and they're hiding their hands under the table and they're hunching forward. They're releasing a lot of cortisol. And then they literally find they don't have a voice.
Yes.
And that's the other thing that sitting up like this does. It helps to give your lungs space to fill when you breathe, and it helps to give you a voice.
And one of the things that I also like to practice is to do this before you even present.
Yeah.
I think it's quite helpful to have the right posture, to think about how you want to convey your thoughts and how you want to be perceived. So there's one idea that is, if you have a power pose even beforehand and you practice that for a few minutes, then when you go on stage, you already have set the tone for yourself.
And you've released testosterone through your system, which is the confidence hormone.
Right.
And I recommend to people that they get into the power pose several times a day. Yes, and it would be standing up. It's also termed the Wonder Woman pose. If you're a guy, I say it's the Superman pose. But I do this in the restroom, literally, before I go on stage.
Yes.
Because if you walk around in the power pose, that can also come across as being a little arrogant.
Right.
But it does wonders for your mental and your emotional state before you go on stage. It also, interestingly enough, makes others perceive you in a more positive way. So I think those are our tips for posture, which is really, really crucial. Our next webcast is going to be about gesture and how important that is. And if people want to contact us, what should they do?
Email us at contact@magicticity.com or visit our website.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.